Hey there, welcome to the energetic playground of possibilities, and today we are talking supermarket, well, universal supermarket, or a place and a space where the field of infinite possibilities exists. And I'm just giving you the analogy of a supermarket. Imagine a place where all energies are available and you can choose to create and generate with them however you desire. What we tend to do is we think that we are who we are, and not much can change. And if you don't have access, like I'm just not a happy person, or I'm just not an enthusiastic person, or I'm just not. Now, granted that there can be this personality, right? So, an introvert, extrovert, I'm definitely an introvert. However, what if rather than just going on your default settings of this is the product, me, with the personality, how I am, and that's the way it is, I would love this, I would love that, but no, too different and too much hard work, and that's just not who I am. It's okay, right? What I'm suggesting is, what if there was this place where all energies are available, and not only all energies are available, who you are, your very being with those energies, create and generate and bring in different energies. So imagine, let's just pick, or just say for now, that those energies are like a t-shirt. So there can be the t-shirt of joy, the t-shirt of judgment, the t-shirt of pain, the t-shirt of suffering, the t-shirt of enthusiasm, the t-shirt of joyful creations, co-creationships, gratitude, right? They're all energies and they're all available. Now, what we tend to do is that we'll look at our life as happening to us. In other words, this happens, therefore I respond this way. That happens, so I respond this way. And what I would like to say to you is, you have an energetic playground of possibilities that you don't need to run your life on default anymore. And if you truly don't wish to be sad or depressed and actually move, create greater than that, and that's not dishonoring or disempowering you or not validating your experience, there'd be a very valid reason why you are depressed or sad or whatever. But what I'm saying is, there are energies available that if you consciously bring them in, will transmute that suffering, transmute that sadness, that wrongness, or whatever it is. It takes courage to know it's possible. It takes courage and bravery to realize that you can choose to bring in those energies. And of course, there is an uncomfortableness with that as well. Now, it's uncomfortable because not a lot of other people even know that playground exists. And the people that do might be too scared. That's too easy. Survivor's guilt, when you realize that you can have far more ease and much more, joy, and you can generate and create even through hardship in a different way of being. And then you look at all the people who are, and I've been there, guys, so please don't, this is not a judgment. I'm just saying there's different choices available. And when someone's really in judgment of themselves, or in judgment of what they've done or chosen, or they've made their suffering significant, they've turned it through from a true expression of guilt or sadness or anger or whatever it is into a story that they just keep perpetuating abuse on themselves of wrongness and meanness, or they're buying someone else's judgments, right? All these things can happen. And what I'm saying is, if you're courageous enough to look at a very different possibility, that you can actually bring in energies to transmute the sadness, to transmute the lies, the impelling, the judgments, etc. It can happen so quickly and with ease and kindness on your being and body. But it is a very different place. And that's why I've done my different podcasts. I did not have access to what I'm talking to you about now when I was in the throes of domestic violence. I knew it was possible. I could even sense the energy, but I didn't have in myself the energy to choose that. And so I had to go on my journey, and everyone's journey is different. No one's right, no one's wrong. However, what I'm saying, if what I'm saying is making sense to you, and you are willing to do these energetic exercises, set your alarm and do them every day, you are going to bring in new energies. And it's no different to baking a cake. If you start to put in different energies, for example, say you were a vanilla cake and then you put in chocolate and then you put in some cherries, right? You're going to get a different cake. You're going to taste different, smell different. And it all comes down to energetic creation. So it's twofold. One is actually having the energy to be aware of the supermarket, to have the energy to pick an energy off the shelf, to be brave and courageous enough to choose that and bring that into your body and being as a choice. And what will normally happen is the more you change yourself to that which, when I say change yourself, let go of the lies, let go of the judgments, and start filling, getting the energies from the pantry or the supermarket, those energies that are actually aligned with you, the joy of you, the enthusiasm of you, the kindness of you. When you start to claim, own, and acknowledge these energies, and also you might need an energy that's not your nature. What I mean by that is, let's say I'm not a person that would want to do harm to anybody, right? But if someone came up to me with a knife and I knew they were going to kill me, well, I'm going to have some energies here that I would normally feel uncomfortable having or uncomfortable associating myself with, right? But if you're willing to recognize in that moment your life's at risk, you need to have this energy so the perpetrator either backs off or you're able to escape the perpetrator. It's important for you to be able to pull in those energies. And it's no different to if you're giving a speech to somebody, okay, you might want to have the energies of communion, of connection, of kindness, of enthusiasm, right? So what if you could bake a cake? What if you had access to bake any cake you wanted for any situation that was going to create and generate it to be greater than it was? So if you're having a business meeting, don't just walk into it by default. Actually ask the question, what can I generate and create here? What energies will contribute to this conversation? If you're bringing in, say, you're talking to an employee of yours and you're bringing in frustration and judgment at them and, these default energies versus, okay, this person's been late every day or, not being their normal self and it's bothering me, right? You have the choice to go, well, hang on, is that really generative and creative? Me picking the energy of bothered or frustrated or, oh God, this is the last thing I need. Or whatever energies you're bringing in, are they actually generating and creating your life? Because we tend to focus on default. When employees not behaving how they should, my response is whatever. This is the normal way to respond, frustration, upset, anger, judgment, all that sort of stuff. But if you actually stop for a moment and say, okay, I've got this supermarket of energies, and instead of bringing judgment to that conversation or, resistance and reaction or whatever it is, what if I brought kindness? What if I brought attentiveness? What if I brought an energetic space where we can both generate and create what's greater for us and therefore the business? And that might be creating that they leave. However, doing it from a place of kindness and empowerment versus frustration, anger, separation, etc., etc. So what I'm saying to you is you have at your fingertips a infinite supermarket of energies. And when I say that, I'm really wanting to be clear. These aren't a set amount of energies. You can create from those energies. You can bring in new energies. There's a chemical energetic reaction between the being that you be and consciousness. It's not just a set supermarket. It's infinite. So please don't think that there are just set products on the supermarket shelf. No. There is an infinite. There is no shelf. It's like there is no spoon. I'm just getting you to realize that you might not have access to these as in cognitively, or you might not even know they exist, but I'm telling you they exist and you can choose them. And it's so much fun because when you realize, wow, I was going to walk in that into that relationship or into that conference or into that business meeting or, talking to my kids or my lover or whatever it is, right? What if you were conscious about the energies that you brought into those discussions? And that's just not when you're dealing with stuff that's vulnerable. It can be when you're making love. It can be when you're creating. It can be, anything when you're going for a walk What if it didn't have to look like you think it did or a default setting? What if you could change the world by holding your partner's hand? What if you could create energies that you can invite others to that change their world? I had a situation where I was aware of some energies that people were choosing, and they were open to change. And so you can actually show them, hey, did you know that this was on the supermarket shelf as a possibility? And then they're like, oh my gosh. It was the day like I found Velcro nappies. I was like, oh, thank God, whoever invented that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Same with air conditioning. Thank you. So sometimes we don't know it's available until someone shows us. And so what I'm saying is, please pay attention to this huge pantry, this huge supermarket. There are so many energies available. And the other thing I'd like to leave you with is everyone has access in a different way to those supermarkets. Now, what I mean by that is if you see somebody who's behaving in a way that you admire, it's because they have access to that energy. Now, that's them putting it on the shelf for you. Because if you can perceive that energy in somebody else, most likely it's in your supermarket, you just haven't claimed, owned, and acknowledged it. You're willing to see it in others, but you're not willing to step into it yourself necessarily at that moment. And it also might be something that you really have the awareness that you don't have that and you would like that. And so you can ask to duplicate that energy. Just like on a computer screen, when you see something and you just want to duplicate it and pop it into a different folder. So when you see something in someone else's supermarket, say they've got an ease. People say to me that they just can't get over the ease I have with even horrible things. It's just an ease about it. And it's true. I don't have the sort of hardness about things. Even stuff that's, quote unquote, probably would be hard for people. I never went into the hardness energy. It was always just a lightness and an ease, whether I was leaving a relationship or choosing a car or choosing a t-shirt to put on. It's all the same. It's just ease, right? And some people, because they've got significance and they've got judgment or whatever, they don't have access to that energy of ease. But if they see it in me and go, wow, how come everything's just so easy for you? Like it just shows up ease. There's just an ease that you be. If they can see it, they actually have it. So that's the thing that I'd love to leave you with, that whatever you think you don't have that you admire in somebody else, there's a good chance it's already in your supermarket. But if it's not, duplicate it. Just say, hey, I really like that energy. I'd like to have that in my supermarket. Thank you very much. And I would love you this week to be super conscious. When you walk home or when you see your man or your woman, instead of looking at them through the eyes of same old and default, what if you actually chose to see them, really see them, and maybe ask yourself, what energies can I contribute? What energies can I be? And that, that's going to create greater. And just you being that different energy will invite them to something greater too. It's just the way it works. There's just a spontaneous gifting and receiving. So this week, pay attention. If you're feeling a wonk or a constriction or a heaviness, they're energies. Stop and say, whoa, okay, I'm putting some, ingredients into my cake that isn't going to taste so great, isn't going to create so great. You know what? I'm going to take those out. Next, stop. And what would I like to choose to bring in right now? It might be kindness, vulnerability. It might be the energy of listening, receiving where someone's at without trying to fix or change them. And you'll start to become aware of the subtler energies the more you do this. And then eventually you'll become aware of the energies without any conclusion or any names. They're actually pure, energetic possibilities. However, just start for now. I mean, you're welcome to go into the other ones as well if that's open to you in the moment. However, start with the ones, if that's not the case for you, start with the ones that you know. You know, I don't like it when I'm judging. I don't like it when I'm angry. So these are energies. Okay, so you've got that. Why don't you look at what else you can choose? So how we're going to do it is just to give you a bit of a home play. Right now, just take a breath. Nice big belly breath, and just choose to be in the field. Become aware of the field. There it is. That spaciousness, that joyousness. There it is. That kindness, that presence. All those eyeballs of consciousness looking at you saying, hi, we're with you. You've never been alone. And what would you like? And let's say you've become aware that you've been angry, so maybe you want some joy. You'll know what energy is required to be, the quote-unquote antidote of that, the equivalent of turning the light on so the darkness just disappears. And if you don't actually know the name of the energy, you can just say, what's going to bring light to this? What consciousness can I bring to this? What energies? And just allow the field to show you. And just imagine it just flowing into your body and your being in your personal field. Just allow it to come in. Whatever energy that you require the most right now, and when I say energy, it could be energies. Consciousness is the greatest chef in the world in this restaurant of possibilities. So whatever it is that you need to receive right now, whatever energies will create change in the areas where you're conflicted or confused, or even any energies that you would like to create greater with something that's going really well, just ask for it. And you can also ask, what does your body need? What energies do your body need? Or does your body need? What does it require? And just allow that to come into your body. And if you've got any trauma or dis-ease in your body, ask, what energies? Sweet body, what would you like? What do you know is possible that if you brought in those energies would change everything? And just take a few moments to be. And my interesting point of view is, why would you leave? You can be connected to and present with this field of possibilities and at the same time be aware of this reality. You don't have to choose one or the other. You can be aware of this reality, but have access to the field at all times. And what if you allowed the field to continuously gift to you? What if you said to it, you know what? Every moment of every day, I'd love you to contribute to me. Whatever energies are going to generate and create my life to something that I can be that contribution to a whole new world being birthed. Just allow myself to receive that. It's an ongoing ask, so please just keep sending. And you may want to receive energies into your wallet, energies of cash, abundance, your bank account. Your car might want to receive energies, desire to receive energies, flow energies to your car. Whatever it is, your loved ones, the planet, the animals, and even those magical, mythical creatures. They love receiving your contribution too. And as you get more and more from the trauma, which is all about you, to a more generative generosity of spirit where you start to open up to be able to contribute to others, you'll realize that that supermarket of energy, you choosing that, changes the world too. So you can choose to walk with the energy of laughter and joy, and just you walking down a street puts it on the supermarket shelf for everybody else. And you don't need to think about it. You don't need to make it significant. Just you being that joy or being whatever it is allows others to see it. And yeah, there's going to be people that hate you for it, judge you for it. It's okay. Next. As Brene Brown says, they're not in your arena. It's okay. Not your problem. So have fun with the dolphins in your life. Have fun creating and generating and becoming aware that energy is a choice. And when you're willing to change the energy, you'll change your life. I'll catch you next week. Take care. Bye.